Have you ever thought about the impact of punishment in schools on a child's development? This question is far more critical than many of us realize. In our mission to shape young minds, educators worldwide commonly use punishments as a disciplinary method. But have we stopped to consider the implications of these actions? Let's start by understanding what we mean by school punishments. These disciplinary actions can take many forms, varying in severity and intention. The most common type of punishment is a simple warning, a verbal caution often issued to correct minor misbehaviors and to nudge students back onto the right path. Then we have reprimands, a more serious form of warning that often involves a formal notice or a written record. These are used to address repeated or more significant misconducts, serving as a clear message that such behavior is unacceptable. Assignments as punishment are also commonly used. These might involve writing an essay on the misbehavior, completing additional homework, or even performing school-related tasks like cleaning a classroom. The idea behind this punishment is to create a situation that allows the student to reflect on their actions and learn from them. Detention, a method you might be familiar with from popular culture, involves keeping a student in school outside of regular hours. Then there's the practice of calling in parents to discuss the child's behavior, often a step taken when other disciplinary methods have not resulted in the desired behavioral change. More severe forms of punishment include suspension, where a student is temporarily removed from the school environment, and expulsion, the permanent exclusion of a student from a school. These are typically reserved for severe or repeated misconduct that threatens the safety or learning environment of others. Now that we understand the common forms of punishment, let's delve into their potential negative effects. It's time we scrutinize these disciplinary methods and question whether they truly serve their purpose, or if they inadvertently harm the very individuals they aim to guide. While school punishments are intended to correct behavior, they can also have unintended negative effects. The first of these is a dampening of student motivation. When a student is punished, it can instill fear and distract them from their learning. This fear can manifest as anxiety, leading to a decrease in academic performance and a lack of motivation to engage in school activities. Secondly, the relationship between student and teacher can be strained. A punishment-focused approach can make it difficult to build a relationship based on trust and respect. When a student feels they are constantly at risk of punishment, it can breed resentment and disconnect, hindering the open communication necessary for effective teaching and learning. Thirdly, school punishments can fall short in developing social skills. Instead of teaching students to learn from their mistakes and develop better behavior, punishments often merely suppress the undesirable behavior temporarily. It's like putting a band-aid on a wound that needs stitches. It might cover up the problem for now, but it doesn't address the root cause. Fourthly, there's the issue of fairness. School punishments can sometimes be applied inconsistently or disproportionately, leading to feelings of discrimination and anger among students. When a punishment seems unjust, it can exacerbate the very behavior it's supposed to deter, creating a cycle of defiance and punishment. Lastly, school punishments can potentially lead to more serious behavioral problems. For some students, punishment can make them more defiant and resistant to authority, escalating minor behavioral issues into more serious discipline problems. These negative effects paint a troubling picture of the potential fallout from school punishments. It's clear that while punishments might offer a quick fix to behavioral issues, they might also cause further problems down the line. It begs the question, is punishment the best way to maintain discipline, or are there more effective methods that can promote positive behavior while minimizing these negative effects? These negative effects invite us to consider, are there better ways to maintain discipline? Are punishments the only way to discipline children, or are there more effective and positive alternatives? This is a question that's worth exploring as we delve into the potential of alternative discipline methods. Let's begin with positive reinforcement. This approach focuses on rewarding good behavior and efforts, which can be a powerful motivator for children. By acknowledging the positive actions of a child, we can encourage them to repeat these behaviors, thus fostering a more positive learning environment. It's about catching them doing something right and recognizing it. Next, we have the problem-solving approach. Instead of punishing a child for a problem behavior, this method involves understanding the root cause of the behavior and finding a solution collaboratively. Teachers and students can work together to understand why a certain behavior is occurring and then brainstorm strategies to address the issue. This approach not only solves the immediate problem, but also equips the child with critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Guidance and support also play a crucial role in discipline. Children are still learning about the world and their place in it. Sometimes they need guidance to understand what is expected of them and support in developing social and emotional skills. By providing this guidance and support, we can help children navigate their emotions and behaviors in a more constructive way. Last but not least, family involvement is essential. Parents and caregivers can play a significant role in reinforcing positive behaviors and addressing negative ones. By being consistent at home and school, children can understand what is expected of them and strive to meet those expectations. These alternative methods are not about being lenient or letting children get away with inappropriate behavior. It's about teaching them the right way to behave and helping them understand the consequences of their actions. These methods can provide a more positive and constructive approach to discipline, fostering better behavior and emotional growth. With these alternatives, schools can create a discipline system that is not only effective, but also nurturing and supportive, promoting a healthier learning environment for all. While punishments might be necessary in some cases, they are not the only nor the best disciplinary method. This statement, while seemingly simple, is a cornerstone of a balanced approach to discipline. A balanced approach to discipline is like walking a tightrope. On one hand, there need to be consequences for actions that disrupt the learning environment or harm others. On the other hand, there must also be support to help students understand their actions and learn from their mistakes. The goal isn't merely to punish, but to educate and guide. So how can this balance be achieved? It begins with understanding that discipline is not synonymous with punishment. Rather, it's about teaching appropriate behavior and instilling a sense of responsibility. It's about molding character, not just controlling actions. For schools to adopt a balanced approach, they must shift their focus from merely dealing with misbehavior to preventing it. This might involve adopting strategies that promote positive behavior, like recognizing and rewarding good conduct. It might also involve teaching social-emotional skills, which equips students with the ability to manage their emotions and navigate social situations effectively. There's also a need for consistency. A balanced approach to discipline means that rules and consequences are applied fairly and consistently. This doesn't mean that every infraction receives the same penalty, but rather that the response is proportionate and appropriate to the behavior. And let's not forget the importance of communication. Open lines of communication between teachers, students, and parents can make a world of difference. It's crucial to ensure that everyone understands the expectations and consequences and has the opportunity to voice their concerns or suggestions. Lastly, remember that discipline is not a one-size-fits-all solution. What works for one student might not work for another. It's essential to consider the individual needs and circumstances of each student when implementing disciplinary measures. By adopting a balanced approach to discipline, we can create an environment where students feel safe and are encouraged to learn and grow. By doing so, we can create a more conducive learning environment that encourages growth and development. In conclusion, while the use of punishment in schools has its place, it is not without its drawbacks. It's important to remember that these punitive measures can sometimes lead to undesirable side effects. They can dampen a student's motivation, making learning less appealing and potentially affecting their overall academic performance. The teacher-student relationship can also take a hit, as a punishment-focused approach can make it challenging to foster a bond built on trust and respect. School punishments can also fall short in guiding students to learn from their mistakes and develop better behaviors. In some instances, they may not be applied justly and consistently, which can breed feelings of discrimination and anger among students. Moreover, in certain cases, these punishments may inadvertently push students into exhibiting more stubborn behaviors, leading to more serious discipline issues. But it's not all doom and gloom. There are alternative discipline methods that can potentially address these issues. Positive reinforcement, for instance, can motivate students by rewarding good behavior and efforts. A problem-solving approach can be beneficial too, where teachers and students work together to understand the root cause of behavioral problems and cooperate to find solutions. Providing guidance and support can also help students develop their social and emotional skills. And let's not forget the crucial role of family involvement. By including families in the discipline process and encouraging them to provide consistent guidance at home, we can help create a more holistic and effective approach to discipline. As we journey towards rethinking discipline in schools, we must aim for a system that nurtures growth, respect, and understanding, rather than inciting fear and resentment. After all, the ultimate goal is to create an environment conducive to learning, where students feel safe, respected, and motivated to reach their full potential. As we rethink discipline in schools, let's strive for a system that fosters growth, respect, and understanding rather than fear and resentment.